Am I right? Her food. She didn't have to give other people her food and not charge them for it. She didn't have to take kids in and divide up her food. How'd y'all fare about it? How'd y'all like that? It was good? Okay, all right. She didn't have to do that. I mean, she wasn't getting it from I never knew her to even ask the church for nothing. She didn't ask nobody for nothing. She just worked, and they both worked, and they just did what they did. But I mean, I can't, God, if I can't forget that kind of stuff, God can't forget it.
Right.
God does not forget your work and labor of love in how you have ministered and do minister to the saints. Amen. I want you to hear that. I mean, I'm saying this publicly because it's never been said publicly. Maybe it hasn't. Maybe it has, but not recently. But I'm saying it. But God, if I remember it, how much more does God remember it? Amen. And that's your fast. Do you understand? That's a fast. When you take your food and give it to other people, that's a fast. Now, she may not be the only one that's ever, I know she's not the only one that's ever done it, but I'm just talking about what I know happened at least 20 years ago and up till now. And she still continued to do it after she moved from that street, from 10th Street. But I was right close to her then. We lived close to each other. But those of you who do that, that is a fast. When you deal your bread to the hungry. And then he said, where, read.
And thy darkness be as the noonday.
Yeah, but I want you to keep reading.
And the Lord shall guide thee continually, and satisfy thy soul in drought.
So when things get lean, God's going to make a way for you because you've been making a way for other folks for years. He's going to open the door for you. He'll do that. Read on.
And make fat thy bones, and thou shalt be like a watered garden, and like a spring of water, whose waters fail not.
Somebody's going to bless you for all that you've done. You're not going to have to wait till you get to heaven to get all the blessings. No, you're going to have to wait. and for anybody that's working for God in any fashion, you don't have to wait till you get to heaven to get your blessings. God's going to bless you right here. But we're trying to tell you what a fast is. That doesn't sound like fasting, does it? But that's fasting. When you share what you have with others. All right? Read.
And they that shall be of thee shall build the old waste places. Thou shalt raise up the foundations of many generations.
Now, where are you?
12.
Okay, well, let me go back because here's what I wanted to get to. When you bring the poor to your house and the naked, that you cover him. In other words, you give clothing to people that need something. And then hide not yourself from your own flesh. Well, I was thinking about how sometimes our kids, our cousins, and our aunties, and our uncles, and all kind of folks will eat you alive with, they think you have something, so they come to share it. But he said, don't hide yourself from your own flesh. Now, I think there is a limit to how that can go. But if you know they definitely are in need and cannot do for themselves. Now, there are people that can do for themselves and won't. But if they're in need and you know they can't do for themselves, have no resources, don't hide yourself from your family. Not from your own flesh. Help them as much as you can, but the Lord's not telling you to what's the word I want? Not support, but be a, what is it when you help people that stay drunk all the time?
Enabler.
Enabler, yeah. He's not telling you to be an enabler. You know what I mean? Sometimes you enable people that won't do because you just do for them so they figure they don't have to. He's not telling you to be an enabler, but if you know that it's a genuine need and folks cannot do for themselves, then don't hide yourself from them, those people that are yours. He says, so when you call, I'll answer. Now, and then we talked about putting forth the finger, extend your soul to the hungry, and your darkness will rise in obscurity. All right, be like the watered garden, and where were you, 12?
12.
Mm-hmm.
And they that shall be of thee shall build the old waste places.
Okay.
Thou shalt raise up the foundations of many generations, and thou shalt be called the repairer of the breach, the restorer of paths to dwell in.
I believe that we can do just that. We can be a restorer of paths to dwell in. In other words, we talk about this generation and how things have gone south, so to speak, with our generation. We can be a restorer of the paths to dwell in, and we can start them going north.
That's right, boy.
See, we can do that. In other words, why don't you say, as it relates to your family, the buck stops here? It's not going no further. If there's been abuse in my family, it's not going to go any further because I'm not having it. If there's been drunkenness in my family, it's not going no further in this generation because I'm not going to have it in my generation. You understand? I'm not going to do it. I'm going to stand for right and righteousness. If there's been incest, whatever it is, just say, in my family, we're going to stand for right and righteousness. You can say that, and God can make it be so. Yes. All right. Read.
If thou turn away thy foot from the Sabbath, from doing thy pleasure on my holy day, and call the Sabbath a delight, the holy of the Lord honorable, and shalt honor him, not doing thine own ways, nor finding thine own pleasure, nor speaking thine own words.
Now, here's something. Excuse me. He says, turn away your foot from the Sabbath. If you turn away your foot from the Sabbath, from doing your pleasure on my holy day. We don't, Scripture says a man is made for the Sabbath, not Sabbath. The Sabbath was made for man, not man for the Sabbath. So we don't worship the Sabbath, but we do worship on the first day of the week, which was the day that the apostles and the disciples worshiped Jesus because he rose on the first day of the week. And so we worship. But there's nothing wrong with the Sabbath because we should have a Sabbath of rest. Everybody needs to rest a day. But how many of you do it? Don't raise your hand. How many of you rest on Saturday? I didn't say go to church. I said how many of you rest on Saturday? But you really need to find a way to rest. Let your, huh?
I'll say wash your clothes, rest.
No. But I understand that when you have a big family, you know, I got condemned. I didn't get condemned, but people tried to condemn me because I worked on Sunday. I had 6 boys and they dirtied up clothes faster than you could blink an eye. So from 6 years on up, and then some babies sometimes with the 6 boys. I had to wash on Sunday. I put a load of clothes in on Sunday morning. Take them out Sunday night and dry them. So, but my point is, find some time, they call it me time, but you need to find some time to just blow and relax. You really do. Amen. But also, he said, don't turn away from the Sabbath. In other words, your holy day, you need to have a day to give to God. A day to give to God. When we don't give that day to the Lord, it can be Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. But you need a day that you just give it to God. I'm going to pray. I'm going to read my word. I'm not going to, I ain't going to the movies. I'm not doing nothing, but I'm going to give God this day. Of course, that doesn't mean you don't eat and do,